People think it's just the heat. But what they don't realize is temperature can affect us either way. Hot, cold. With MS, our bodies don't do normal temperatures. For some of us, it reacts. And sometimes it just shuts down. So today we're going to be speaking about hot and cold sensitivity. Some of us deal with just the hot side of it, which is me. Some of us deal with just the cold side of it. Some deal with both. So we're going to discuss both today, so stay tuned. Hey, this is Miss Fearless, and this is the No Shoez Podcast, where nothing is dressed up, everything is real. Today we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people don't fully understand. That's temperature sensitivity and MS. It is something that a lot of us go through, some don't. It's just like with the symptoms that we've talked about in the past couple videos. Some people experience those symptoms and some do not. And they're both hot and cold. I myself experience heat, so I can't tolerate the heat. When I get too hot, I will have an episode, which again is my baseline symptoms. So like my baseline symptoms are vertigo and then stroke-like symptoms. So the pulling of the mouth, the slurred speech, the zombie walk, that type of thing. So that's what happens with me. And this can happen year-round. It's not just during the seasons. It's how our bodies respond to it, period. So what is it, you ask? So let's get into it. When you have MS, your nervous system is already going through what I like to call an electrical storm. So it's already dealing with damage. So when the temperatures change, whether it's going up or down, it can throw everything off. It's not a good feeling at all. And when I first experienced it, I was like, what is this? Because I had already been dealing with vertigo, so I'm like, what's going on? So it's like your signals slow down, your symptoms will get worse, at least they do for me. And your body just doesn't respond in the way that it's supposed to. So let me speak about my experience again, which is the heat for me. So as I mentioned, if I get too hot, then I will start to have episodes, which again are my baseline symptoms. My body goes from 100 to 10 real quick, and there's no warning. My legs get heavy. The energy definitely drops. And in that moment, I'm just trying to keep it together, because sometimes I can go from having an episode to having a spell, which y'all have already gotten to witness. So it's just my body just shutting down, and I have to lay down. I need to get cool. And so here, I'm in Georgia, and it gets hot down here. So, in the summertime, you won't see me out a lot during the day. I like to sometimes go walking in my community, so I will either get out there before the sun is up or when it's going down, when it's cooled down. I have neck fans. I have all kinds of fans around the house, in my car. Even when I travel, I take them because we go to Florida a lot, because that's where my husband's from, and it's hot down there, so I have to have something to keep me cool, because I cannot tolerate the heat. So that's just a little bit about the heat. And if you deal with the heat side of it, if you're comfortable with it, post your experiences down in the comments, all right? So let's talk about the cold. So even though I don't deal with the cold, it doesn't mean others with MS do not. I know people who complain about cold. Now with me, my cold comes from something else. Now, my husband calls me a vampire because my hands are always cold, my feet are always cold, but it's not because of my MS. I think I'm anemic. I just have to, because my mom is. and I just need to go get checked for it. But I've heard of people who complain about the cold sensitivity. So, excuse me. For a lot of people, from what I've read and from what I've heard from people who experience the cold sensitivity can make things a lot worse for them. It causes stiffness in the muscles. Some people get shivers, increased pain and tightness in the body. Some people deal with spasms. I've heard people deal with spasms when they're dealing with the cold side of it. More difficulty moving, more issues with fatigue. I think that's always going to be something that we deal with regardless of what we're going through, those of us who have MS. So while they may be where I'm trying to cool down, they're trying to warm up just to function. And I think it's worse for people who have to deal with both. So when I go out of town, like if I want to visit my bestie or I'm going to visit another family member, I always have the little green Grinch looking thingy I had on at the beginning of this video. It's always in my bag because I don't like for people to have to change how they live or adjust to me. Even though I'm only going to be there for a few days, I don't like for people to try to change those things. So I just come prepared if it's too cold in there. My family, before I had MS, used to always pick at me and be summertime like, oh, you need to bring a jacket to Phyllis' house because she going to have the temperature turned up in there. And you're right. That's exactly how it would be. But, those of us who deal with the heat and those of us who deal with the cold, it's just the opposite. We're over here trying to get cool. They're over here trying to get warm. So, their symptoms are just a little worse because of the stiffness and things like that. Okay. And that's just the reality of MS. What may affect me in one way may affect somebody else in another. And that's just the experience with MS. And both of those experiences are truly real. And we deal with so much. And this just goes back to the video I did about things not to say to people, or just making certain comments where, oh, are you being fake? There's nothing wrong with you. You don't look sick. Please don't do that, because this is an invisible disease for some of us. And what I mean when I say that, you may have some of us that have mobility issues that you can physically see with your eye. We have mobility issues. But then, I get told all the time that I don't look like I have MS. A lot of my sorors, people that are in the MS community, are told the same things. But you don't know the storm that's brewing on the inside. So don't make those assumptions. Now let me touch on the emotional side of it, because there's always the emotional side of it. And mentally, it can be very frustrating because something as simple as the weather can control how your whole day may go. And it's not easy to deal with at all. For example, in the summertime, because again, I'm in hot Georgia, I can have the temperature set to 72. Now, for some people, that's cold. For my husband and my son, that's still warm to them, but it's good for me. And we have to find a happy medium, because when I'm shivering cold, they're warm. And sometimes when they're good, then I'm hot. So we have to find a happy medium, and we do the best we can. My mom, when I go over there, I'm hot. So I have my fan or my neck fans. I have it somewhere nearby if I need it, because, for her, I think she has her set to 75, if I'm not mistaken. And for me, that's hot. So when I go over there, sometimes I make sure I have my fans in the car or whatever. So if I need to go out there and grab it, I can. But some days I'm okay when I go over there. So everybody manages the sensitivity different. For me, I try to stay in the AC as much as possible. When my husband first found out, outside of just me having MS, when he found out that, okay, now she's dealing with having to stay cool. We have 2 units in our home. So we have one for the upstairs, one for the downstairs. And because we spend a lot of time upstairs, that unit gets used most of the time. And it went out one summer and it was hot. It's like 100 degrees. And he bought these little portable ACs because he's like, I gotta make sure you don't overheat because I don't want to have to take you to the emergency room because you just have an episode. So he bought not 1, not 2, but 3 portable AC units. He bought one for my office, one for his, and one for our room. And of course, you leave the doors open, it will cool the whole house. But the thing is, it will increase your electricity bill. So we just keep those things around just in case, because this upstairs unit, we've been in this house since 2010. This upstairs unit has gone out twice. This house was built in 2007 now. The upstairs unit has gone out twice. The downstairs unit has not at all. And it's still the same system that was in here when the house was built. We got the upstairs unit replaced, I want to say 4 years ago. And it went out. It's gone out again since we got it replaced. And that downstairs unit has not. So, and this is not about being dramatic at all. This is just real life. This is real experiences that we go through. So if you have a friend or a family member that has MS, please, the best thing you can do is go and learn. Go to the National MS Society website. Go to the MS Foundation website. Go to Can Do website. Just do a simple Google search on MS. You can go to WebMD. There's so many different resources that you can learn about MS, and that's the best thing you can do for a family member, and not come at them sideways about pretending and this, that, and the other, because it's stressful. It's angering. It's stressful. It's all of it. And stress is not good for us. That brings on our symptoms too. So please try to be understanding. And if you can't do that, sometimes it's just best just to not say anything at all. And that just goes to my next point. If you know someone living with MS, be understanding, be patient. And if they say they're struggling, believe them. It's just one of those things that's difficult. And I'm sure it's the same way with anybody with any type of chronic illness. We just do the best we can to try and stay functional. And like I expressed, and I'm sure a lot of my MS brothers and sisters can agree with me, when I got diagnosed, I told my family friends, I don't want you to treat me any different. Don't treat me like I'm sick. Don't treat me like I'm handicapped. I don't want you to do that. Now, if you see me having an episode, then definitely help me. But don't treat me like I'm still the same fearless I was before. That's all I ask. So just try to be, empathetic to those who have any kind of chronic illness, for that matter. And I want to close with how MS doesn't just affect how we feel. It definitely affects how our bodies respond to the world around us, even as something as little as the temperature. Whether it's hot or cold, it hits us all different. So just keep that in mind. Like I said, I try to be resourceful. For those of you who have just recently been diagnosed, who don't have MS but have a friend or family member that does, or you just want some understanding of the illness. And even for some of us who have it, there's things that I did not know that I just learned a few weeks ago. We don't know everything because we all deal with things differently. So we're not all dealing with it the same way. I want y'all to know that if this has helped y'all understand MS a little better, if you're living this, drop a comment. If you have questions, drop a comment. If I do not have the answers, I will find out. I will try to point you in the right direction. I'm not a gatekeeper of information. I don't like to gatekeep. I like to help people too much, so I don't gatekeep information. If I feel that it's something that's going to help you, to give you some information or to help someone in your family, then I don't mind sharing that information with them. Because over here, we keep it real, really real. Okay? Yes. So, I hope this video was not just informational for you guys, but it gave you a better understanding of something else that we with MS go through. So I want you guys, if you have any questions, or like I said, if you have a topic that you would like for me to cover, just go on over to my Facebook page, the No Shoez Podcast Facebook page, and at the top, pinned to the top, is a Google form for you to fill out show topics that you want to see. This month, because it's MS Awareness Month, I'm just staying with MS. Once we get into April, I will be moving that around. So again, I will always, touch on MS. I'm going to always touch on my weight loss journey. That's probably going to be what I touch on next for April. It won't be for the whole month of April, but we'll start going into some other topics. So if there's something that you want me to discuss, or want to touch on, or you are interested in wanting to come on the podcast and we have a conversation, let's do it. I'm game. Okay. So, I appreciate you all taking the time to just listen and want to get the information and learn more and learn about my experiences as well, living with MS. So y'all have a good day. Thank you again for coming on and listening to me here at the No Shoez Podcast. Again, my name is Miss Fearless, and I hope y'all have a great weekend. I will see you guys soon.